Hello there, I'm Kelly Ashley from Twin Flame Awakening, and I'm here to help you today with talking about why your current approach to Twin Flame Union isn't working. We're going to break it all down, we're going to work out what's going wrong so that you can really identify that and start to move towards union, start to move forward. Now, if you don't know me, as I said, I'm Kelly from Twin Flame Awakening, and I help people like you who are going through the Twin Flame experience to reduce the really painful, challenging signs and symptoms of that and move towards union, lasting union with your partner. And I say lasting because many people get into twin flame experience and they reach union and then they keep getting pulled apart again because the blocks haven't been cleared. But we'll talk about all that at another point. Okay, so let's talk about why your current approach to your twin flame union isn't working. Okay, so most people who are going through the twin flame experience, they tend to use more spiritual practices and spiritual items to raise their vibration. Okay, that's what we've been taught. You want to raise your vibration, connect with your twin, you want to ease the intensity of this whole process. So naturally, like we've all been taught, and like I did too, we use all sorts of things like incense and essential oils and crystals and meditations, and we get readings and we do yoga and you name it. Okay, it's all spiritual approaches to raise and heighten our vibration. Okay, but if you've been trying these sorts of approaches, you've probably noticed, if you really think about it, that they don't work, or they don't last, or they actually make your twin flame symptoms and the intensity of that process worse. And I invite you to just gently have a think about it. Start to see if you can find that link within yourself, because that's something that I have seen time and time again. It happens all the time, and I'm going to explain why in just a little minute. It's not working because of what I like to call the electrified effect. Okay, you need to remember that when you start going through the twin flame experience, whatever stage you're at, because this applies no matter what stage you're at, whether you know of twin flames but you haven't found your person yet, or you are in union, or you're almost at union, or you've been in union and it's fallen apart. It doesn't matter what stage you're at. Okay, this still applies, the electrified effect. When you go through the twin flame awakening process, and that begins, and now you're on a twin flame journey, okay, your energies completely change because you get this sort of blast of super high frequency twin flame energy. Now, I know you know this, and you can even tell me below if you resonate with it. You know this because you can feel it, even if you've never felt energy before, even if you've never had any experience of something like that. You know that it's happening to you. Something's different, okay? So what that means is that your energies are already hugely overstimulated, hugely volatile, and very, very sensitive. Okay, because they're being blasted with this high frequency energy, and that's what creates the symptoms. It's because the body can't cope, the mind can't catch up. You know, there's too much density in your energy to really be a match with how high vibrational that is. So everything all comes up at once that needs cleared, all the emotional issues. Then you start to feel overwhelmed. You start to feel like you can't cope. Maybe you've got anxiety. Maybe you've got obsessive thoughts about your twin and you just can't seem to settle everything down. Okay, it's all because you're getting overcharged by this electrified effect. And to make it a simple way of understanding, it's like, you know, the mobile phone charger. If you plug that into the socket, okay, and you don't put the phone at the end, you just plug it into the socket. Okay, that's like you tuning into the twin flame energies. Okay, you're plugged in. So now you're starting to get charged, but there's nowhere for that energy to go. There's nothing to anchor it. So you start getting more and more high vibrational. There's more and more heat coming into the plug socket, and it starts to build up and up and up, and there's no way for it to go. There's no way to earth it. There's nothing there. It just builds up and up and up. It gets hotter and hotter. It bursts into flames. Okay, this is what the electrified effect is with twin flames. When you tune into your twin flames energy, when you start to become aware of that connection, you are getting your vibration raised to incredible levels all the time. And that's why the body, the mind, and the energy struggles to keep up with this process. That's what gives you the difficult symptoms. It's not you that's the problem. It's just the approach that you might be using at the moment to manage this process and to reach union. Okay, so what I need you to consider is you need to think of the use of any sort of spiritual item, spiritual practice. It's only going to charge your energies further. Okay, It's going to blast your chakras open even further, because when we go through the twin flame process, this central column where all your chakras really are down the center of the body, what you find is that that opens to create this sort of clear channel between you and your twin. That connection should be completely uninterrupted, but all the debris from the chakras, all the emotional issues, all the pains, all the tragedies, all the times you've been together before and it's not worked out, everything comes up all at once, because your energy is so stimulated that when that opens, it just blasts everything to the surface. It's like a volcano going off. And then what happens is you're left with the mess of trying to cope, trying to keep your mind sane, trying to manage any sort of physical symptoms or energetic symptoms that might be coming up. Your life might be falling apart, or you might be struggling to just manage the normal daily things. All these things become difficult when you go through the twin flame experience, and nobody talks about it. So I want you to be aware that anytime you use any sort of spiritual item, you're going to stimulate your energies even further, and your energies just don't need it. You don't need to raise your vibration. You're already, in incredibly higher frequency than most, and your body's already struggling with the process. So there are two key steps that you need to take to resolve this, and I'm going to share what they are. So step one, you need to stop charging your energies even further. Okay, it's that electrified effect, and it's worth noting that the electrified effect can be affected by you simply thinking about your twin. Because when you think about your twin, what are you doing? You're tuning into their energy. You're tuning into the twin flame connection. That's going to stimulate your energies. It's going to encourage all those blocks to come up at once. I mean, sometimes it takes people to a place where you feel like you're going to break down. You feel like you can't cope because it's just too much. Okay, now you can still get there, and you can still get there quickly, but you need to stop using spiritually charging items and practices. So that means take a short break, just a little break, because I love crystals, I love Himalayan rock salt lamps, I love, meditating, I love all these things. But I had to take a temporary break to stabilize my connection with my twin, and we've been in union uninterrupted for 7 years now. So it really does work, this process, okay? So you take a break, stop using crystals, stop using essential oils and incense, stop doing any sort of energy healing, take a little break from meditation and yoga, just a little break to let your energies resettle and calm down, and try to avoid getting any readings or anything done just for a short while, okay? If you can do that, you're going to find that your energies start to settle. Things will start to get easier. And that also means sometimes you find yourself, thinking about your twin. I'm not saying don't think about your twin, but just be mindful of the fact that when you tune into that energy, it's going to intensify the symptoms. It's going to start to speed everything up to a level that your system can't cope with. And we want to make it still move swiftly, but we want to make it move swiftly without the breakdown, because if every time you try to move forward, it comes up too fast, it's almost like you have a relapse and you start at the beginning again. And that's going to keep you away from your twin much, much longer. Okay, so we want to move this forward. So step two is that you need to teach your energies how to process the high frequency energies of the twin flame connection and journey, because your energies just don't know how to handle them. That's what the whole problem is. They don't understand this new high frequency energy, and they have no clue how to deal with it, how to process it, how to anchor it or keep it grounded. No clue. Okay, so you need to teach your energies to remain stable, to remain anchored while progressing on the twin flame journey. You need to be able to stay calm and balanced while still connecting to your twin. Otherwise, that union is just not going to happen, because what you find is that the universe recognizes that you can't be stable and hold the connection. That's what this is about. The time where you're apart is about you guys clearing your stuff and learning to anchor in the intensity of the twin flame connection. Once you're both anchored, once you can be grounded enough, the universe knows that you can be together. It's okay, because nothing's going to fall apart. You can handle it. But until you can handle that, until your energies know what to do, it's not going to move forward, because it's going to be an unstable connection. And things can fall apart, and there could be fallouts, and there could be drama, and more stuff needs to come up. It just becomes a big mess. Okay? So step one, you need to take a break from all those energy stimulants. And step two, you need to teach your energies how to be stable, grounded, and anchored while you're progressing on the twin flame journey. So it's like training. You're teaching your energies, here's how to do this new thing. Okay, here's how to process these energies to keep me grounded, to maintain the connection, to deepen the connection without everything falling apart. Okay, so The next piece is we've got 4 questions that you can ask yourself to discover if your twin flame connection is actually stable. Okay, now you're probably getting an idea from what we've been talking about, with the different symptoms and stuff that are coming up. But I want to give you a really simple way that you can check in with things to protect your energies, to deepen your connection with your twin, and to really get to a place where the twin flame connection is so solid, so unshakable, and so foundational that you can connect with each other and everything's okay energetically. That's the most important thing, to bring you to union that lasts, not union that gets together and pull apart, together and pull apart. We want union that lasts without the drama, okay? Because when you get to your twin, you just want to be with them. You don't want to be falling out, okay? So here are the 4 questions I want you to ask yourself. Question number 1, can my energies stay grounded and anchored when I'm thinking of, or actually tuning into, my twin flame? Can my energy stay grounded and anchored when I'm thinking about or tuning into my twin flame? The second question, have I felt truly secure since my twin flame experience began? Now, I don't mean feeling insecure emotionally. I mean, do you feel anchored? Do you feel centered? Have you felt calm? And I don't mean in a little moment here or there. I mean, has it felt shaky since this has happened? And it will have. Nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with your twin flame connection. This is what the energy does, okay? And you can move past it. Have I felt truly secure since my twin flame experience began? The third question, are my symptoms making it difficult to maintain a normal, healthy life? Are they intrusive? Are they getting in the way? Is it so all-encompassing that I can't really focus, that I can't really deal with the normal daily tasks that need to be done? You need to ask yourself that question. And the fourth question, is my mind under my control? Is it under my control? Can I rein it in when things get too much? If there's racing thoughts, if there's anxiety, if there's stress, if I'm obsessing about my twin, which are all natural, normal parts of the twin flame journey. But it doesn't need to be like that. So I really want you to ask yourself, is your mind under your control, or does it float off and start connecting with your twin and, moving into all this excess energy? Then all of a sudden you notice it's like, oh, I've got distracted, or, I can't do anything because I'm just thinking about my twin all the time. That needs to be managed, because we want you to be able to think about your twin without losing yourself to the energy, because that's what's happening, okay? There can be much more wonderful feelings and good solid connection and real union rather than that, okay? It's not helpful to your energies, and it's not helpful to actually reach in union, okay? So if you have answered no to even one of those questions, okay, your twin flame connection is unstable and your energies need urgent stabilization to gain control of this process, okay? You need to gain control of the process. You want to reduce those painful signs and symptoms, and you want to lay the foundations for a real lasting union without interruptions, okay? Now, we teach all of this and more in my signature course, the Twin Flame Foundational Energy Clearing course. It's a course of energy healing downloads, which we're going to be talking more about over the next few videos, to reduce your most difficult and painful twin flame challenges, to clear your energies and to deepen your connection with your twin flame without losing balance in just 7 days. And that's no matter how bad it's been, no matter how long it's been, no matter what stage you're at, it doesn't matter. This is going to lay the foundations. It even includes a coaching community where you can get direct access to me to ask me all of your most pressing, difficult twin flame questions, and you can get expert guidance and advice specifically tailored to you and your twin flame journey. You'll get it fast. So doors open in about 11 days time, but you can get on that wait list to be notified when we launch. And I really look forward to supporting you in your twin flame union very soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye.